So we are live.
So quiet.
Didn't even talk about the running order tonight. Yeah, we have a running order.
We need an order to run.
It's just a list of things what have happened in the last 7 days, basically.
Yes. Right. It's kicked off. Let's do it.
After a soul-destroying fall from Greece, Stockport County are rising up again.
We're going to have Isaiah Kite doing this bit, but I went to release him from his compound earlier. It turns out he's gone feral. So, I mean, he was bloody terrifying when we had him on the leash. So, Christ knows what's in store with next week's transfer window update. Hello and welcome to the Scarf Bagara War, the Stockport County podcast, live show and fan channel. Part of the TalkSport fan network that is now reaching. It's reached. We've reached a 10th series. We've not reached peak series 10 yet. I don't think though. You know when like TV shows have like one really good episode in a series. So you'd be like the one where they go to London is like peak Friends series 4 or 5, whatever it is. We've not reached that yet. I was thinking about this. So I'm wondering what our peak series 10. When people look back in years to come and go, oh yeah, series 10 of Scarf Bagara War.
Is that going to be the testimonial match then down in London? And that was a peak episode.
That's happening.
I think we peaked in series 2 when we had Danny Lloyd on, and I think it's been downhill ever since.
Jesus, that's
Shit,
the long
I mean,
downhill.
If you're saying that,
It's all the athletic proportions of downhill.
yeah, I was going to say going down, taking that long to go downhill almost suggests that like there were several aborted attempts to stop us from going down. Yeah, spot on. Yeah,
We've tried.
Yeah, fair enough. Joining me as ever, it is Russ Johnson and Waggy. How are we doing, chaps? All right.
Evening, not
Evening.
too bad.
I thought I'd introduce both of you now. I might as well. Seeing as Waggy's going to be sticking around, thought I might as well.
Yeah, I like how
Really?
we're joining you as well, even though you were last here.
Well, they're joining us. Well, I'm not last here now, am I? I was last here tonight, yeah, but I was having my butterfly cake as we discussed off air.
Yeah.
Listeners, write in if you know what a raspberry butterfly cake is. Let's start the debate on this matchless week.
Raspberry butterfly. We've got nothing else to talk about, have we?
Yeah, that's it. Can we
Can
drag
we
this out?
tell everybody what we're talking about?
We've got plenty to go at. Tell them what you've got to go at, Russ.
Well, we're going to talk about mainly transfers. We're going to cover the Walsall match on Saturday. We've got Ross from WFC Vlogs waiting in the wings. So we're going to talk to him, get him out very, very shortly. So Lemon Hay Evans has come back, Odin Bailey, some of the rumours, perhaps what we can expect before the end of the transfer window. We haven't got the yellow transfer window branding out because it isn't the end. It's not transfer deadline day, is it? We'll get that out as close to transfer deadline day as we can, as it happens.
Judging by what I've seen in certain WhatsApp groups this week, it feels like the transfer window is never going to end. If I don't think I can endure like another hour of it. Just the same people repeating over and over again what positions they think we need. Yes, you told us in November. I wasn't interested then. I've gone back. Series 10 has come, and I've gone back to being like Series 1 or Series 2, Nick. I'm just very livid.
Yeah. Well, you should be interested though, because you're the face and beard of a podcast, aren't you? So, and hat.
Oh,
as
Jesus.
it goes today. So,
God, what kind? Yeah, well, I'll explain the
hat.
hat. I got in from work, and I jumped in the shower because I like to be clean for you. You know, I've got to be clean for someone, haven't I?
Thanks.
But if I don't wear the hat, this is the situation we're finding ourselves in. So,
Well,
it's,
yeah, get the hat
it's your
back on.
choice, really.
Get the hat back on.
Do you like the Adams Family? So yeah, that's the situation we find us, and now I look like an apprentice nonce. Brilliant. Hat back on. Right, good. Transfer window's open. The hat's on. Jobs are good done.
Excellent stuff. Shall we get Ross out? Because he's probably, like all of our guests, he's probably got something better to do with his time.
Yeah, he's got to interview me after.
Well,
So he's not got anything better.
So he's not got something better to do.
Yeah. Excellent. Right, we'll get Ross out from WFC Vlogs.
Finding Armstrong, played in the game, and a superb goal, and it's Connolly who scored it.
Evening, Ross.
Hello guys, you right, mate?
You all right? How's it going?
Yeah, not too bad, thanks, mate.
Good, good. So, Walsall, tell us about your vlog and where we can find it, and what sort of. I mean, we've seen vlogs, but we've not tried it ourselves, mainly because we're nearly 40. Well, one's nearly 40, and the other two are over 40, so we don't really do vlogs. Tell us about vlogging and how you got into that first, before we ask you about Walsall itself.
Yeah, no, I think I've been doing it for about a few years now. I think it's the second year I've been doing it on YouTube now. Obviously, I took influence off, a fair few Warsaw vloggers. And obviously, got Seb Taylor, who does it for, also known as Superseller Sebi, also does it on YouTube, Warsaw Fan TV. So I took influence off them too, and pretty much decided to do it myself, really. So like I said, I've been doing it for a couple of years now. Obviously, just capture the atmosphere when going to away games, no games, and just uploading it to YouTube, really. We get opposition fans' thoughts on each game as well, and home fans as well, which is, like I said, I've been doing it for a couple of years now. I'm enjoying it. So, yeah.
Nice. Do you find that it takes away from your experience of going to the match, though, because you're concentrating on vlogging more than you are going to the actual game?
Well, yeah.
Or watching the game, should I say?
Yeah. Well, at the start of the season, I actually changed it up really, because last season, like you said there, I was doing the vlogs in terms of I was going to the game, I was recording the games on a camera, which I thought it takes away, obviously, me watching the game fully, really, which I didn't really enjoy doing. So I actually changed up this year. So I don't actually do the match day vlogs, is what you call it now. I also do the match reactions. I do capture the atmosphere now and again. I also upload the YouTube shorts. I don't know if you know what that is.
Yeah,
on
yeah.
YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
I upload them, obviously, videos of the fans singing and whatever. Well, obviously, I still do that, but I just took out the vlogging in terms of recording the game, which I don't do anymore. Which obviously, like you said, I prefer to watch the game fully rather than having a camera in my hand all the time. So obviously, I do the match previews, do the match reactions. Also, I do sometimes upload a video now and again, calling the On the Road series, where just capture the atmosphere, like I said there. And apart from that, really, that's it, really. So yeah, obviously, I took away the match day vlogs and stuff like that. But yeah, it's going all right so far.
Good stuff. Right, Walsall then. Form team at the moment. We seem to play everybody when they are the form team, which is bad luck for us. But tell us a bit about Walsall. How's your season going? Are you happy? Are you playing above expectations, below expectations, that kind of thing?
Mixed emotions, really. I think obviously when we appointed Matt Sad at the start of the season, it was a lot of mixed emotions around the club in terms of whether he was the right appointment or not. Obviously losing Michael Flynn the back end of last season, you could argue was a huge blow for ourselves. I thought when we appointed him 2 years ago, I thought he was the right man for the job. I think he was the perfect man to take Walsall forward, but obviously it wasn't to be. But obviously appointing Matt Sadler in the start of the season, for me, and I think a lot of Walsall fans would agree, for me wasn't the right appointment. And I think it's shown this season really where we are on the table, because I think at the start of November, I think we found ourselves 19th in League Two. For me, obviously, didn't win a game in 15 or so matches, which for me was relegation form. I think if we were to lose any more than what we did during the month of November, I think it was very close to getting the sack. But luckily enough, we found a good run of form towards the end of December. Obviously, like you just said there, 3 games unbeaten, 3 consecutive wins under our belt coming to this one in Saturday against yourselves. So you can't argue with that, really. I think I mentioned it a few times on my videos last week, especially. We played Leicester last season in the FA Cup in January last year in the 4th round. Obviously lost to them 1-0, played them off the park, really. And for me, should have got a result. From us, Leicester was in the Premier League at the time. But from that loss, everything for me seemed to go downhill. And I think we find ourselves in the same position this year, because obviously we've come into this one following a 4-0 defeat against Southampton on Saturday. So I think, hopefully, fingers crossed, from Saturday's defeat against Southampton doesn't go downhill. And obviously this time last year that we lost to Leicester in the FA Cup, and like I said there, I think it went downhill from there. So hopefully it don't replicate that this year. I think all Wolves fans would agree we're hoping for, a successful second half of the season. But who knows what's going to happen during these next few months. But again, I'm expecting a tough game against yourselves on Saturday. And, we've got a few tough fixtures coming up as well. But, it's shown that in the last few weeks we can beat the big teams in this league. Obviously, we beat Wrexham 3-1 not long ago at home. Absolutely played them off the park. And obviously we beat Crewe Alexandria as well. Again, they're currently doing well in League Two, currently sit fifth in League Two. So we beat two teams in the top six in the last 3 weeks. So you can't argue with that really. But it's just keeping that momentum and keeping these wins going during the second half of the season. If we can keep this momentum going, we won't be far off come the end of the season really.
So obviously you've lost Freddie Draper on loan as well. You had him on loan and he's gone back to, is it Lincoln? How much of a loss is he going to be?
Oh, it's huge loss. Losing Freddie Draper, because obviously he was leading goal scorer up until now. Obviously it was something like 11 goals in League Two this season. So obviously he doesn't make the top 5 in League Two, but in terms of Walsall's top goal scorer, he is Walsall's top goal scorer. So losing Freddie Draper last week was a huge loss for Walsall. And losing him, we are literally on the bare bones at the minute. I've got currently 2 fully fit strikers in the whole squad, having Jamil Matt, our other striker. He came off injured against Wrexham 2 weeks ago. So we have only got 2 fully fit strikers currently in the squad, in Danny Johnson and Douglas James Taylor. So if one of them gets injured, who knows what's going to happen, because at the start of the season, Matt Sadler, I think he brought in 3 strikers, 4 strikers, and now we're only down to 2. So we're in one of them positions at the moment where if one of them gets injured, we could find ourselves in a really sticky situation, really. So losing Freddie Draper for me was a huge blow.
So you're saying obviously that you obviously beat Crewe and Wrexham, but you beat both of them at home. And I know you had a really good result away at Grimsby, but that's Grimsby. Is your home form a lot better than your away form? Or do you think you've seen improvements over the last certainly since Christmas?
I think home form in particular, I think we are pretty much very good at home, really. In front of our home fans, I think we do sometimes tend to put on a show. Well, now and again anyway. But I think away form especially has been where we've been lacking recently in the last few years. So I think going into Saturday's game against yourselves, I definitely do expect a tough game, like I mentioned earlier. But in terms of away form this season, obviously unbeaten in 2024. Sorry, in the league, obviously only played one game, so it doesn't really matter. But in terms of away form, it's totally changed really in the last few years. In terms of, we do tend to play better at home than we do away, really.
Yeah, and obviously you beat us at your place as well, didn't you? I think was that 3-2. Was it that long ago? I can't remember.
2-1 was it? 2-1 at the start of the season.
So who are we looking out for then on Saturday? I'm just looking at FOTMob and looking at the stats and things. So Stirk, McKenty, Hutchinson, is that all playing to type? Are they the players that we should be looking out for?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, Osher McKenty, they released a statement not long ago. I think it was either Monday or Sunday evening. Osher McKenty's out for a good 6 weeks, so I don't think he'll be in action on Saturday. Isaac Hutchinson on his day, for me, he's a class League Two player, and for me, punching above his weight in League Two, really. On his day, he's a quality player, but when he's got an off day, sometimes he does tend to go missing. And when we do play the big teams, such as the likes of Stockport and Mansfield, who we played not long ago towards the end of October, he does sometimes tend to go missing. But in terms of an overall one to watch, I definitely go for Isaac Hutchinson. But like I said, on his day, he's a class player. But if he's having an off day, he definitely go missing. But again, if Freddie Draper was still in the team, I'd definitely say Freddie Draper is our biggest asset. But losing him, like I said, is a massive blow. Tom Knowles, again, our winger. Yep. Since signing him, I think it was 2 years ago, we signed him under Michael Flynn. And for me, again, on his day, he's a class player, but when he's having an off day, he does sometimes tend to go missing. So I think other than them two, really, I don't think we've got too much of a big attacking asset, really, other than them two I've mentioned there. Obviously, you could talk about Danny Johnson, who, for me, obviously, he scored 15 goals in 6 months last season since returning to Mansfield last season, and I think signed him on a 6-month loan deal. signed him back on a full, on a permanent deal in the summer. Obviously hasn't had the game time all us Walsall fans would have wanted him to. Obviously, I think he's only started in 3-4 games this season in the league. So for me, it's disappointing, really. But I think in terms of a one to watch, I'd definitely say Isaac Hutchinson and Tom Knowles, really.
Nice. Good stuff. Yep. We were asked. It's funny. We did a survey recently, and we were asked if we could ask this type of question. You're the first one I'm going to ask it to. What do you know about Stockport County, and what do you sort of feel about it? You know, are we a big threat to you, or do you know our history and kind of things? So how was that for you?
So we've been out of the
What was that,
Football
sorry,
League
mate?
so long that
What was
we've
that,
kind of
sorry?
forgotten whether people still know us or not.
Yeah, I'm thinking of your age as well, mate, because you look pretty young. I mean, if we ask somebody who's our age, they'd probably say, "Oh yeah, we remember you in the Football League," but I guess you don't, do you? I don't know.
What was the question, sorry, mate? You lagged out a bit there.
So what do Walsall fans generally think of Stockport County and Stockport County fans?
Obviously, I think we played each other 3 times last season. Was it twice in the league, once in the FA Cup?
Yeah.
I went to both away legs at Edgy Park. Is it your ground?
Yeah.
For me,
Well done.
great fans. You've got great fans there. You make some noise behind that goal as well, for sure. And I think the FA Cup game as well, especially last season, was a great atmosphere. For me, particularly one of the best away games I went to last season. But in terms of Stockport County, obviously we know you're a good side. Obviously we played you last season. Obviously, having last season being your first season in League Two for how many seasons now was it? How many years?
11.
11 years was it?
Yeah.
So obviously, considering you haven't been in the Football League for 11 years and coming up to League Two last season, finishing where you did was a huge achievement for yourselves. And you doing that, we've been waiting for that for a good 15 years now, especially in League Two as well. So overall, like I say, going into Saturday's game, we're expecting a tough game, and pretty much that really. And obviously, great fans as well. Obviously, you come to our place at the start of the season as well. You've got a fair few amount of fans there, so yeah, hoping for a good atmosphere overall, really.
Nice one.
Are you bringing quite a lot? Are you bringing quite a few up to ours? Have you sold out? I can ask this, Russ. You're not allowed.
I know I'm not allowed to ask these type of questions.
Well, I was actually quite disappointed, really, the amount of fans we're taking, because I looked on our social media pages the back end of last week. I think it's between the 300 and 400 mark. I think it's about 350 we're taking so far, which for me is pretty disappointing, really. I thought we would have took a lot more than what we are currently, because I think we took over 800 last season. So pretty much disappointed about how much we're taking, but look at where we are in the League Two table, 13th in League Two. So nothing special, is it really? So. We'll have to just see in the next few weeks where we are. But the more we win, the more we put points on the board, and the more we move up the table. I'm sure the support will come.
Yeah.
Do you think you'll be able to push for playoffs, or do you think that's a little bit too far for you?
If you would have asked me this 3 weeks ago, or I say a month ago, I would have said no. But I mean, seeing our recent performances, there's no reason why not, really. Because I think on our day, I think we were a lot better team than what we were last season. And it's proven that, like I said earlier, we're beating the likes of Wrexham, who on paper, for me, Wrexham were a lot better side than us. But the way we played them out the park on that Friday night was great to see, including Crewe Alexandria when we beat them as well. Obviously, it wasn't a performance that stood out for me in terms of being a good one, but it was just the way we grind out the results and we got the win against them. And obviously beating Grimsby 6-1 on New Year's Day. Obviously, any team that beats any team by 6 goals needs some sort of applause. So I think we can keep this run of wins going, we won't be far off come the end of the season, really.
I'm fascinated by that 6-1 win at Grimsby. Would it be New Year's Day as well? Because them Grimsby fans must be like, right, we've got a new manager, he's getting settled in now. New Year, let's just throw last year out, and then they get that. You'd just be like, oh, I'd be livid, wouldn't you? At least they're at home, though. At least you not have to travel to have a load of goals rattled past them like Sutton did with us. So that's something, isn't it?
Yeah, because when I watched the game when I fell out and sat there, I couldn't believe how many goals we were scoring. Because when I watch it on iFollow, sometimes you tend to be like 2 or 3 minutes behind. For every time Walsall's on the attack, I was like, he's just going to go in. Everything we seem to go in. I couldn't believe what I was watching, to be fair, because the last time he scored 6 goals away from home was actually in 1948, I think it was.
Oh wow,
So
nice.
it was unbelievable to see. So yeah, make the most of it while you can.
Yeah, definitely. Last question before we let you go. Then, what's your prediction for Saturday? Score prediction.
Score prediction for Saturday. I do these score predictions quite a lot, and I never seem to get them right. I'm expecting a tough game, like I've said numerous times, and we do tend to have a good record at Edgeley Park. I think the last 2 meetings, like last season, we haven't lost, luckily enough. So hopefully that's a good omen going into Saturday's game. But I think a score prediction, I'm probably going to go for a 1-1 draw. Hopefully we can play out a good performance, but again, hoping for anything more. Anything but a loss really on Saturday.
Yeah. Fair dues. Good stuff. Right, Ross, thanks for joining us. Really appreciate it. Giving us a bit of insight on Walsall.
No worries.
Good luck after Saturday. Hope you enjoy your day, but just not too much.
Will do, mate. Cheers, mate.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers,
See you
guys.
later.
Thank
Bye
you.
now.
See you later.
Cheers.
Gleeson! It's a cracker! Stephen Gleeson! What a beauty!
Proper
There we
preview
go.
there.
Excellent stuff. Yeah. Thanks to Ross for that, for joining us. And I think, Nick, you're going on Ross's show later.
I am. As soon as I finish it, as soon as I've shed this dead weight, I'll be over there waxing lyrical about the soon-to-be champions / second / third place
/
team.
third. Doesn't matter as long as we're
ultimately still promoted.
yeah,
/ relegation battle.
Whoa! we're very nearly mathematically safe. So another 3 wins should do it.
Is it time to get the transfer marked possible finishes table out to see if we are safe of relegation? So I'll do that.
We're not. I've checked.
Have you checked? You've checked.
I've got the table up now. Hang on, I'll just double check. Oh yeah, we're nowhere near safe yet. 21, so 60, so that's 63. Oh no, we're about 30 points from guaranteed safety. That's assuming like Forest Green don't win every game. God, it's just got a bit tense again, hasn't it? Oh.
Let's carry on the conversation about Walsall then on Saturday. Looks like a tough game, doesn't it? I know. Ross has just said that a few key players are out, which they are, and the one lad's come
Sounds
back.
familiar.
Yeah, it does. It sounds like the past 3 guests we've had on, and they've all turned us over.
Yeah, we've had that break now though. That break is crucial. I said as soon as the straight after the Mansfield game finished, I think I put on Twitter and said this is the most crucial 2 weeks of our season now. And not just in terms of the transfers, but in terms of the rest and how much good that'll have done them. Because we've been running on empty for so long. And I'm expecting big things on Saturday. So I'm prepared to look like a dickhead at 10-5.
Well,
I mean, I'll already be looking one when I rock up at 2 o'clock. That's just how I roll. But I'll be looking like more of a dickhead. Yeah.
The time.
Yeah. The time and the stench of beer.
Oh, look, Nick's the dick. Oh, it's 2 o'clock. Oh, look, Nick's the dick. Oh, yeah, it's 10-5.
But yeah, Saturday. So, let's talk about it because it's all like mingling into one, really, isn't it? Saturday, we've had a 2-week rest. We've got Bristow in. I think he's going to be available.
Yes,
he's already been available.
confirmed.
But he'll be ready to play, should we say? We've got Lemon Hay Evans back. We've just signed Odie and Bailey. Do we even need these injured players back? Discuss.
Yes, done. Nailed it. No, yes, we do. It'll be nice. It'll be nice to have them back. But I think we need to. I think we should temper expectations somewhat because we're still about a month off having some of our key players back. So if it's a case of grinding out results until then what will be will be. I don't think people should start expecting us to go back to what we were doing in the winning run. I don't think people should expect us to be playing liquid football like we were against Wrexham. I think we're way off that again. Yeah, this tends to be the time of year where teams who get promoted grind results out, just as Mansfield did against us on New Year's Day. Ground the result out. They had the game plan and stuck to it. And I'll take a 1-0 win with it going in off opposition keeper's arse. I'll just take anything at this point. Just get another 3 points on the board and start another run again.
Yeah, agree. I mean, looking at last, I know not comparing seasons, but last season in January, we only beat Northampton, didn't we? The rest, we didn't win another match in January. It was a bad January.
Very poor month, January. Yeah, but I think we've had a bad December, all told. Well, I suppose if that's if you lump Mansfield in with the December games.
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's do that. Sorry, it didn't happen. None of it happened.
Time's just a construct anyway. It was within that period, wasn't it, of those,
All right, Letizia, calm down. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's very much the no man's land, isn't it? So yeah, I think we can still afford to carry on this blip a few games longer and still win automatic promotion. Not saying we should.
Oh, yeah.
Not saying we should.
The natives will get restless though if we do that.
Have you seen them already?
Yeah.
No, I am not part of this WhatsApp group, am I?
The most delicious moment of Liam Richardson's tenure as media executive, it must have been that moment last week where window's open. Window is well and truly open. It's not just ajar. The window is fully open. Come on in, and he tweets his contractually mandated tweet about Carabao now on offer. And it just, oh God, I wept with joy. I was in the post office. I just went mental. I was like, "Whoa, this is what a time to be alive!" I've just got a notification on a brick in my pocket. I've got a big bundle of metal and stuff in my pocket, and that's just told me that Liam's tweeted that. And that's the first time in my life where I've honestly thought I am living in the future. I've not got the hoverboards I was promised, but that'll do. It was great. And I imagine Liam had a good laugh to himself as he tweeted that. He's like, "Oh, this will get the natives restless."
Yeah. He's got a streak in him, hasn't he, Liam? But while we're on the subject of Liam, congratulations to Liam.
Yes, congrats.
Because he received the first on his dissertation, first class honours degree from UCFB.
I noticed you tweeted him from the pod account. I tweeted him personally. I just think that personal touch is means more.
Does it? Means more than a podcast account. He knows it comes from me anyway.
Yeah, and it's got a blue tick as well. So
we've got a blue tick now as well. Yeah, we got a blue tick. Yeah. Did you see Sam Burns' reply?
Yes,
No.
Because I replied to that talking about fingering.
Let's not go on to that.
No, it wasn't an immediate reply. Someone else replied, and then I replied. I think someone said, "Oh, I jumped when I got a notification from you." So someone's got a notification switched on for not just Sam Burns, but all Sam Burns replies as well. Someone's got a notification at 6 o'clock, seeing that, and they've gone, "Oh God, I thought it was a transfer." It's like, well, you need to go out and do some fingering, don't you?
Right. Yeah.
I think that's fair.
Yes. Yeah.
That's completely fair. I think. Yeah.
Teasing. I've seen 2 notifications at 6 p.m. Oh, yeah. That's the thing, isn't it? Infinite content, everything now. That's what people want, don't they? They want. So I've seen someone say we need at least another 6 to 8 players to ensure promotion. I'm like, what?
I mean, yeah. I need another 6 to 8 inches to please Florence Pugh, but it's not going to happen, is it? 6 to 8 additions. That is mental. That is truly. That's like a full squad rebuild when we're top of the league. It's unhinged.
I think the pennies just dropped with Nick of what you've just said.
I was too busy thinking about Florence Pugh for a second, and then it just all came rushing back to me.
Thinking about Florence Pugh or fingering. I don't even know who Florence Pugh is.
Thinking. Oh, she's lovely. She's lovely.
Is she
well out of your league?
Like the machine girl, ginger hair, Florence and the Machine? No, is that her? No,
that's Florence.
Oh, she hasn't got a
surname. That's Florence. That's Florence and the Machine. Second name. Second name Machine, middle name Amber.
Right. Right.
No, she's in Black Widow. She plays Black Widow's sister in Black Widow.
Oh, yes, I know you mean. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's
Yeah.
a delight. The future second Mrs. Lee there.
Right. Lemonheigh Evans and Odin Bailey. Should we talk about them?
I bet they could pull Florence Pugh.
So let's start with let's start with Bristow. Actually, we were contacted by Ben Jones, who is a Tranmere podcaster. I asked him, could he give us a bit of information about Bristow, maybe information that you wouldn't get off, I don't know, FOTMob or whatever. But he basically says heading isn't his strongest suit, despite being 6'2". So there you go. I mean, he's a left back.
Same as me, then.
He's got a bit of a 50p head, so don't expect anything precise there. Technically very good and comfortable dribbling. Athletically, won't be anyone comparable in the division. Can sprint in the 95th minute, which helps for both counter and attacks and offensively and stopping them defensively. Predominantly plays as a left back for them, but might even be more effective as a wing back, so gives you the flexibility to play him on either role. That's pretty positive, isn't it?
You've just read out my Tinder profile there. The full thing. Can sprint late on. 50p head. Tall, but can't edit. Me.
There you go. Yeah.
We've signed me. It's finally happened. No, very exciting signing for me. That is one. I remember the Tranmere fans going on about him a lot last season, particularly when the Sky did their team of the season and Torre was in at left back. And there's a lot of Tranmere fans wondering why on earth he wasn't in there. And I know Dacres Cogley, who was the right back at Tranmere last season. I think he's moved on elsewhere. Might be Bolton, have I imagined that? But they were surprised that he was the one getting a move to League One and not Bristow. I think they were very surprised that he went to Minnesota.
Right.
Minnesota. It's one of them places in America, isn't it, Minnesota, where it's like, I know it's there, but I couldn't point to it on a map and I couldn't tell you anything about it. Like Peterborough, really, over here. I know it exists. Don't need to know anymore.
You can't point out
Well,
Peterborough on a map.
No, it's one of them places. Peterborough, Oxford, Cambridge. I could tell you a genuine area. Reading, Swindon. Nah, don't care. It's not the north, is it? As soon as we put that wall up around Birmingham, north of Birmingham, I don't want them coming in as well. But very, very astute signing, Bristow, and hopefully with a view to next season as well. But by the sounds of it, he's not really settled. Well, of course he's not settled in Minnesota. No one knows where the fuck it is. Why would he have settled?
To find it.
He was just outside the airport with a card.
Sign Minnesota.
Yeah, I've had a thing to remind me where Minnesota is for a long time, and it's how you remember where Kentucky is. And it's really
Roy G. Biv. Roy G. Biv.
Roy G. Biv.
That's how you know the colours of the rainbow at school.
Oh, right. That's okay.
Roy G. Biv wasn't the word I should have used. Mnemonic. A mnemonic is what it's called. Is the group's term for it. And you've got a mnemonic, have you? Go on. Just do your thing, Russ. Go on.
No, it's not. It's you. There's a picture of a chef holding a pan, which is the Minnesota is the head of the chef, and Kentucky is the chicken inside the pan, and Tennessee is the pan, and you work your way down with the and it looks like a chef. That's how I remember it.
You know what? That seemed like the type of thing you'd share on Facebook, and I'm pretty sure you had.
I have, yeah. I have.
It's the type of thing where you share it on Facebook, and then I assume it's like my 65-year-old auntie sharing it and just scroll past it.
It's good knowledge, that. It's good knowledge what you're talking about.
It is good knowledge, that. When I inevitably get famous and go on Richard Osman's House of Games, and I have to put where Minnesota is on a map, I'll be sorted. As long as they have the state lines on there, so I can find the chef and the chicken. Yeah,
it's funny. You've been saying when you inevitably get famous for about 9 years now. I'm not sure when's it.
Infamous is the word I'm looking for. Infamous.
Okay. Bristow, Waggy, what do you think?
He was a great darts player.
That was his dad.
They obviously we had to have a darts joke, didn't they? There had to be one in there. So no, I think you just say listening to everything that as soon as he signed, there was a lot of Tranmere fans that were on the post that were saying brilliant signing, can't believe we let him go and stuff like that. And as you say, he sounds as if he can play either left back or left wing back, which suits us. As you say, I think we've played a lot better when we've played as a back four. So putting him as a left back, but who can, and more so with the difference to Toure is obviously it sounds like he wants to go past players and actually get a crossing and stuff. So I think that'll be a much more positive for going down for the left hand side. So yeah, I think it's an excellent signing, and as you say, 6-month loan, but I think that it will be a permanent. And this seems as if it is one of those League One signings to take us into, like, to play for us next year in League One.
There's the danger of when it was announced from Minnesota's end, they had an option to recall him at any point during the loan. So when I'm just ignoring the darts jokes because we've had a week of them. Should have got these out of our system last week, lads, but we forgot. Yes, they can recall him when their season starts in March. But they also mention in the same statement, they mentioned that it frees up a space for a non-American player. So you'd imagine with them only having 2 spots for that, then they'll take advantage of it and bring someone else in, which should mean he'll be, because that'd be so us, wouldn't it? For him to get all our other left backs to be out injured and him to get recalled like the day before the game that could seal promotion. Imagine that.
But if we do sign him permanently and he stays, that are we not oversubscribed in that area, or do we see one going out then? I can't see it being Rydell.
I hope not. You'd imagine, given that he's going to be out until his contract expires. So you'd imagine he'll get a short-term one at least, or maybe a year, so he can prove his fitness and stuff. But yeah, it does leave us with 3. Maybe we'll go to the 3 at the back again that everyone hates, despite it getting us 7 minutes from League One, and taking us out of non-league. People forget what the 3 at the back did for us.
Yeah, for me, the beginning of the season, it was having the wrong people in the 3 at the back. Was trying to play Noyle and Toure as centre backs. That wasn't working. But as you say, as a system, it still works. But again, I think it's the difference with this season is that, as you say, Challoner seems to have got a bit more. He's progressed as a coach, as a manager.
Yeah,
because as we were saying, last year we struggled to have a plan B, whereas now we've got plan A to Z, and at different parts of the game, you'll just see a discrete switch, and it's like, oh fucking hell, we've changed our system to match up to them or to counter what they're doing to get us back in the match and stuff. So, do we need 3 left backs, left wing backs? Possibly not, but it depends if he still sees Toure as being a left centre back, and then pushing him into the left centre back area. Then that pushes. We've got two left backs, then, haven't we? 2 left backs, wing backs.
Yeah. Anybody going to be watching Toure in the AFCON?
Monday at, is it 12 o'clock, 2 o'clock?
2 p.m. Senegal.
Yeah.
Work from home day. Jobs are good.
I'll have it on the background, I think. Definitely. I don't know if he's set to start. I don't know what the
I'd imagine he's gonna start. I don't think they've got
he's
a
played
big.
pretty much all the qualifiers, hasn't he? So
is he?
Yeah, and he's
so.
probably playing at a higher level than any of the rest of their players. So
Claire just says, where can we watch? I think it's all on Sky Sports.
And the exciting thing about the AFCON as well, you get that thing of seeing players that are world class from what they do for the clubs, and then seeing them for like some international, like who's the Bayern Munich left back, the Canadian guy, Davis. Alphonso Davies. Then when you saw him for Canada in the World Cup last year, he was like playing in midfield. He's our best player. There's going to be loads of that. It's so exciting.
Yeah, it reminds me a bit of the MLS where you get a really good player like, I don't know, Didier. I'm going back a bit now, but Didier Drogba playing up front for Ivory Coast or Cote d'Ivoire as it is, and then the left back's in League Two. Do you know what I mean? Or it's in the National League or something.
Very much like the Saudi League right now, actually. That's why Ronaldo's getting such ridiculous numbers, because he's up against like non-league. So they've invested in all these attacking players and just not signed any defenders at all over there.
Yeah.
It's mental.
I think the other two players, I checked the squad for Gambia. The other two players, one's for Wrexham, one's for Cardiff. And then the rest are all on the continent or in Africa, I think. So yeah, should be good. Nice to have an interest in it. I mean, I generally watch it anyway, but just like dip in and out. But now I've got something to watch it for all of a sudden.
Yeah, it'd be nice to watch it for someone who's not Salah or Mane, won't it? It's gonna be good. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's Bristow. Should we talk about Odin Bailey coming back, because that is a big one? Do we know any figures involved or anything like that? Is it all kept quiet? Is it?
I've not heard anything, but I don't expect that we've. Well, I know there was rumours that they were holding out for 250k, but and all this, he's got a year's extension and stuff. But for me, a year's extension is only triggered if you're good enough or you want to play for the club. Is it not normally based? It's normally based off goals or appearances or things like that, isn't it? So I can't see how they would have wanted to trigger.
A lot of the time, it's just there at the. Basically, the thought is that when the players sign the contract with it in, they're effectively agreeing to it. So they would have been in the right to extend it by a year so they could ask a bigger fee. But when it's not good optics, is it? When it's a player who's openly admitted he's had like mental health struggles at the club and stuff. I think it makes sense that it's not. My prediction was that it was going to go on until the end of the window.
Yeah,
and then we'd leave ourselves in the situation of maybe signing other players to do what we want him to do, and then suddenly very much the situation we had with Camps when we signed him, where we went for him. He was asking for too much. His agent was asking for too much money. We got other players in, and then the Camps deal got revived late on, and as a result, he still doesn't quite have that spot in the team. We don't quite know where he is. So I'm really pleased we've avoided that situation again. Well, by the sounds of it, the Lewis money will have helped go towards that. Not that we've not got the budget anyway, but
I did see
in terms of making a profit.
Somewhere that they said that the Lewis money was nothing to do or didn't have anything.
No, that's right. Yeah,
anything to do with Bailey. But the one interesting thing was that the Salford never announced him coming back, did they? They've had a couple of
not like they did with their other loanee. Yeah,
they never announced that Bailey was back in the building.
Right.
So don't say back in the building, Waggy. I might have to hit someone. Yeah, it's by the sound of it, talks were ongoing even before the window opened. From what Challoner mentioned in his interviews over Christmas and stuff. So I think they were always going to sell him. For the ultimate piss boiling, it'd be good if we went back and signed another player from there, wouldn't it? That'd be funny.
None of them
I'd
are good
enjoy
enough,
I don't know. There's a couple of that. Do
we have an idea what we'd be looking for from Salford?
That temporary roof off the stand. We'll have that. Could do with one of them.
Walking around with a clipboard going, I'll have that.
Yeah, I'll have that.
yeah. Like the bailiffs. I don't think bailiffs will be far off there anyway. That's a good point. James Somerset makes a very good point in the comments. The other loanee that they brought back was actually recalled rather than that specifically recalled him. Yeah. Makes sense. But yeah, good. I'll just try out some cliches. Good to get it over the line. We're all very relieved to get it over the line. Looking forward to seeing him back out on the grass. Yeah, just other platitudes and cliches are available. But yeah, really good.
you actually think he did go back to Salford, or do you think he's still been just training with us anyway? Because that's the one thing nobody. He just said his deal was up, but as you say, there's not been anything to say that he's actually gone back or went back to Salford.
Contractually, you probably have to go back, don't you? Unless Salford had said, we don't need you back, just go train somewhere else or go to the gym or whatever until something's happened, until something happens.
I can't see it being the case either that Salford said, we don't want you back, go elsewhere until it's sorted, because they've got a new manager in who's...
You might want to take a look at him. Yeah.
He got sent off after 11 minutes.
Yeah. He did, yeah.
And just from the optics side of it, I've used the word optics.
You have, yeah.
I've used the word optics twice tonight, and neither time has it been in relation to spirits. So, personal growth. Thank you. I can see you've got some behind you as well there, Russ. I'm going to start salivating in a minute.
Oh yeah.
Yes, new manager coming in with a clean broom and all that, like a new slate. It's not going to look good on him if there's a player that he's. You're right.
Yeah, because you were scoffing at cliches before, and now you've just used clean slate and broom. Because
I'm trying to get as many in. I've got about 7 more on a list here that I'm going to try and get in at some point. People have been sending them to me, so I'll try and get them in. Yeah, clean slate, a new broom, mopping up Gary Neville's shit with one end and broom handling incompetent players up the tunnel with the other. And it's not going to look good if he just makes his mind up about a player before having even met him or chatted to him or got to the bottom of the issues he had during his spell there and stuff. So I think it was always going to happen. I'm just glad he's not had to do a Peter Rodden wingy on the last day of the window. Just like sat on the hard shoulder in his car, not knowing where to go. Although Isaiah Kite would have had something to do though, wouldn't he? So. He'd probably have bit him, to be fair. He bit me before. Awful.
So let's move on to Lemon Hay Evans then. Obviously recalled. Quick word about Joe Lewis. Obviously gone to permanently to AFC Wimbledon now. So good luck to the lad. Probably didn't get a fair
business that as well. No, I don't. Yeah, it's weird. He signed for us after playing for Torquay in a back four. We immediately put him in a back three. And then now when you think looking at next season, maybe he'd be the one in there alongside Horsfall, but it doesn't make sense to go messing around with the defence as it is now, given that that's an area where everyone isn't dead or injured. So, it makes sense. And we've made a profit on him. He's clearly enjoying his football, like his family are happy and everything. He's had a head transplant because that Joe Lewis that I saw on the announcement video, that's not Joe Lewis. I don't know who that is. That's not Joe Lewis. I swear. I reckon we're gonna. I reckon Joe Lewis is gonna trot out for us at some point in this season, wearing like Jack Stretton's number or something. I'm convinced it's gonna happen.
So Lemon Hay Evans coming back then. Good move, Waggy?
I think so. I mean, you say we're short of midfielders. He's been playing regular for Wimbledon. He's been playing well for Wimbledon. I think he sort of fits into playing if we're playing as a diamond. I think he can probably play at the front, or he can play at the right of that diamond. So I think it's a good to bring him back, and hopefully he can carry on that form and continue because I say I think he's just been a bit unlucky not being able to get into the team because maybe we've not quite played the right system for him. But I think going to like a 4-4-2 almost with the diamond in the middle, I think that suits his style much better than how we've played before. So yeah, I think hopefully he gets a run in the team and we can see his potential again.
I still think whatever happens, he'll be off in the summer. I think.
Yeah, I can see it.
I mean, I still wouldn't be surprised if he was off before the end of January. If it's just that the wording in County's statement mentioned the rest of the season, but that's just it's another cliche, really. You could say. So A lot of
Yeah.
maybe we won't put too much store in that.
I'd like to think we treat players. I don't say better than that because nothing's happened yet. But if he has been brought back on the proviso that if we get somebody else, then he can leave, and Wimbledon get first refusal or whatever because he's playing well down there, then I'd like to think we'd do that for him and not just cast him out or make him train with the reserves or whatever like they used to.
Because he apparently struggled to settle when he first signed as well because he's from down south and everything. He'd been living down near Torquay and stuff. So obviously coming away from all that,
yeah,
it's going to be tough, innit? And then going to Notts, then being called back for the end of last season, and then going to Wimbledon, seeming like he's found a club for him there, and then only to get yanked back again. But it's good to hear he was out with the. It's doing a pod. It's not just about like watching the football and getting your opinions ready on that. No, you have to troll through the message boards and the Facebook supporters groups and the WhatsApp groups, and you'll find that people go bumping into the players in Manchester. And a few of the lads were out, and Connor Evans was not. I'm not calling him. We dropped the lemonade last season, so let's drop the lemonade. No need for it. Although we could, if he stays, we could get the lemon t-shirts. That'd be a good.
Yeah, if he stays.
Yeah, maybe he should stay for the rest of the season then. But yeah, it's good that the lads have brought him back into the group again, and the camaraderie of it. Must be nice to have friends.
Yeah, Waggy, what's it like?
It's great.
So that's Lemon Hay Evans. Right, I think we're ready for. Oh, admin! I've got to say, I've got an announcement to make. Admin.
Big announcement. Big fat announcement.
Big fat announcement before we move on to the quiz. We're delighted to announce that we are the charity partner in 2024 for Mentel. So we'll be getting people on from Mentel, and we'll be mentioning it every episode, and every episode we're doing to Courtyard Club Call as well, and the Dave Smith Never Existed, etc., etc. So we're going to be partnering with them, get some people on who are county fans, who are part of Mentel, and really sort of go for it and showcase Mentel and make sure that every county fan, certainly that watches this show, is aware of Mentel, the men's mental health charity. So there we go. That's what we're doing. Yes. So you'll see more of that coming out.
A fine acquisition all round.
Yes, and thanks very much.
They're going to slot straight into the group.
They are.
They're really going to bring the rest of the team closer together.
Yeah.
Cliché's done. Nailed it.
Yeah, good. All ticked off. Massive thanks to Dave Thompson on that for putting me in touch with them. Yeah, because they were at the Mansfield game, weren't they? And the bucket collection, and pretty sure most people saw the video at half time. So it does make you think. So yeah, proud to be partnering with them this year. Okay, shall we move on to? Have you got a quiz ready, or are we not doing that today?
We've got reses. We've got a quiz.
Oh, we've got reses. Oh, bloody hell! Right, yeah, we have got reses, haven't we? Right,
I've got one. Don't you worry.
Oh. Right, good stuff. Well, let's get the jingle out, and then we'll do getting reses.
Reses. Get in the reses. Get in the reses.
I'm not having that.
Get in the reses.
Oh, getting reses.
Right. I'll go first, shall I?
Get it out. Yeah, you go first.
Yeah, definitely.
I need to get into Quizmaster mode, don't I? So, people who suggest that we should sign a player go to the trouble of looking at his Wikipedia and like quoting stats and goal returns and assists and everything, but then don't bother to look at the pesky little fact that he's already represented 2 clubs this season.
Oh.
Don't make me tap the sign. It feels like my week this week has been like 60% work and 40% just replying to these people. And I'm not saying you should have like a full encyclopedic knowledge of, section 14C of the laws of the game and stuff. But if you're gonna speculate about transfers, like half of the speculation could have been wiped out if an alarm went off. If you had some sort of add-on to your Chrome browser or whatever, where when you go to type "County should sign this player," it automatically logs and then it just deletes your post because there's only so much internet and they're stealing it all. They're hogging all the bandwidth. It's horrible, but it's not even. It's repeat offenders who have been pulled up on it once. Pulled up on it. I've been caught drink driving or doing something really really heinous. Yeah. Called him into my office, pulled him up on it, but they're still doing it even after I said, "Oh, look, Rob Apter can't play for anyone else for the 50th time this year. He's played for both. Oh no, he's not played for Blackpool. He's been on loan at Tranmere since August. Yes, but Blackpool played games in August. Blackpool played 2 meaningless cup games in August where they rotated the squad. That's when he played. Only another 3 weeks of it.
No, that's good. Yeah, that can get in. I think we're agreeing that can get in the reses,
Yes.
can't it? Because
Yeah.
I've seen that a lot, actually. So yeah. Yeah, you think people would be informed by now. Waggy, have you
And
got
then
anything?
people say, then people will counter it with, "Oh well, we sent such and such a player on loan to Altrincham, and then he also went on loan to Brackley the same season." It's like, yes, but that's the National League where the same rules don't exist, as we know, to our detriment.
Yeah, football cliches, they can get in the reses. No, it's fine. I seen Phil Lloyd and it, so I thought I'd say it. Don't for me.
If anything, Waggy, you delivered that too well.
That's it. I peaked. That's my peak for Series 10. It's all downhill from here.
Oh, it's it.
So no, for me, using VAR in the FA Cup, because it's only used for the teams that are playing at Premier League. So any Premier League team that's not playing at a Premier League team, surely it gives them an advantage because it's bullshit, isn't it? It's shit. So they shouldn't use it. But because I believe that they've just said for the League Cup, the semi-finals, they're not using VAR because Middlesbrough have not got it installed at the stadium. So none of the games, none of the semi-finals that are taking place have VAR. So I think it should be the same until you get to a point of if there is just Premier League teams left in it, then you should use VAR. So up to that point, they shouldn't be using VAR unless everybody can use VAR.
I like that. Absolutely.
I mean, we got County 1883 has pointed out in the comments, like when we had it in the League Two playoff final. I have never been so panicked. I was in such a weird state with that game because every passage of play that ended, I'd be just like, well, it's going to get brought back in a minute. There'll be something in there. It'll get brought back. And then we didn't have any big calls or anything, which was, you'd like to experience that just so you know how shit it is. But I'm all for ditching it full stop now. I was sort of on the fence, maybe keeping it for offsides. If they can do them semi-automated offsides that they've been trialling, then fair enough. But now we've reached a stage where Everton have had a VAR decision overturned.
Yes.
You just think, well, what's it good for?
Yeah, 100%.
But I think it's been used well in like the European Championships and the World Cup. It just seems to be that the way that the way the Premier League has adapted it, it just seems they don't seem to be using it very well. And you'd say some of the mistakes that they've made is ridiculous. But go back to that and use that automatic offside that they were using in the World Cup. That was awesome. It was like instant. So it's I don't disagree with VAR. I disagree with the way it's being used and the way that they're adapting it in the Premier League.
Yeah. Agreed. That's going in.
Yeah, that's going in. Mine's a bit closer to home. So my getting the reses is during the transfer window, whenever County do tweet, somebody guaranteed 100% will tweet back. That's not a signing. Like, just don't tweet anything. It's clearly not a signing. Why just don't tweet? Just don't tweet anything. It's boring.
Or
That was
they've
going
also-
to be mine.
Yeah, well, haven't they also put any more rumours on such and such a player? And I've seen that in some of the like non-transfer tweets that County have put out. It's like any news on Bailey. It's like, well, no.
Yeah.
If there was news, we'd put it out. Instead, it's
Yeah,
about
but this-
about buying some stupid energy drink.
I'd have loved it though if like we'd signed Bailey and then Liam's just sat there waiting for someone to tweet and go like, "Oh, any more rumours about Bailey?" And then he could go, "Oh yes, sorry, we signed him last week. I forgot to press go."
I think I've mentioned this before though. This type of thing where the club will put out a tweet. I don't know. They'll put out a tweet saying match preview. You know, like they do. Here's a match preview, and so no reply and go. Is there any shirts in the shop? It's like, what? What time does the ticket office open?
It's like them people in Facebook groups, like local community Facebook groups, and they'll pop up like, "Oh, does anyone know any takeaways that are open past 11 tonight?" It's like, you're on the internet.
Yeah.
And they've probably opened the browser and Googled Facebook. So they've already hit the step that would have allowed them to find out the opening times.
To be fair, though, right? Don't you think takeaways are notorious for not having up-to-date information on their websites or on Google and being, you know?
Did somebody say just eat?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that's not a browser though.
Maybe. I love it. I love how you're still on the fence about just eat. I love that.
I don't.
That's the most Russ thing ever.
I use Stockport Eats. I'm a Stockport Eats person, me.
I am now. Yeah, doing my bit representing. It doesn't have Snoop Dogg on the advert though, so
It'd be cold by the time it got here.
it's cold by the time it gets to me most weeks, mate.
Right, should we do the quiz?
If we have to.
Let's do the quiz. Yes.
Let's
so
do
the quiz.
I'm going to second.
The
Let's do
much
the
love.
quiz. Let's do the quiz. Let me just.
No! You're joking! You're joking!
No, Richard, I am not joking. This is indeed the much that's very harsh, wasn't it? Yes, this is the much loved and much tolerated starting 11s quiz that we like to end every show. Funny you should pick that clip out. Actually, no, that clip's not going to help you at all. So we are going back to a game that took place on today's date, which was the 10th of January, and we're going back exactly 20 years to the 10th of January 2004. Can I have some dramatic music, please? There we go. So, the game of choice was a Coca-Cola League One tie against Wycombe Wanderers. So, as ever, I want you to name me any player from the starting 11, penalty shootout format. If you name a player who came on as a substitute, then you get another go. If you get the player wrong, then you've missed, and your competitor will have the opportunity to take it as it's sudden bleeding death. So, Waggy, you're up first, mate. 10th of January 2004, Wycombe at home. Who are you having?
I can't remember 10th of January 2024.
Such a dad joke, but I like it.
yeah.
Oh shit. No. Oh. No, I've not got a clue.
I mean, there's one player here that I've not heard of, so
Really?
that's good, isn't it? I'm like,
Give me up, Waggy.
Not got a clue.
All right. So if I get this right, I win. Basically, this is an ace quiz.
this is very
I'm-
disappointing. I'm going to need a list of accepted years for next week, Waggy.
2024.
Yeah.
I'm going to go for. I think Aaron Lescott was still with us then.
Wrong. He might have been with us, but he was not in the squad.
Right. Do we just
This has
keep on
gone
going
well.
until somebody gets it
Yeah,
right?
Waggy's going to have to guess at some point.
No, I
How
really
long was
can't think.
that?
No, I know it's too early for. Is it too early for Deco?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's too early for Deco, so that's where my head's at.
This is the 4,681st game in our club's history. Just a bit of additional info
that
there,
one,
people.
right?
I thought that'd get the juices flowing.
Rob Clare.
Rob Clare is correct. Yes, there you go. You've won a very anti-climactic. We don't get the fucking music off now.
Yeah.
Very anticlimactic. That yeah.
Was Owen Fon Williams in there? Maybe.
No, the 11 was James Spencer, John Hardiker, Rob Clare, Danny Griffin, Danny Jackman, Ali Gabe, Fraser McLachlan, Ricky Lambert, Andy Welsh, Stuart Barlow, and S. Lynch. Was it Sean Lynch? Or have I imagined that?
Scott Lynch, was it?
I was thinking
Was it Scott Lynch? Was it
Did we have a
Scott Lynch?
Lynch?
Well, he bloody scored for us that day anyway. Along with in fact, Lynch was banging some goals in at this point. He scored in 3 games in a row.
Shane Lynch. Ian Dowden.
No, he's out of Boyzone. Shane Lynch is Boyzone.
There can't be 2 Shane Lynches, you know.
No, there can't.
Right, well, after that resounding success, I think I need a brew and some toast before bed.
You know what? I put the effort into making I put the effort in to opening up
It's not on
the
you,
county
it's on us.
spantsheet.
It's on us, isn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's generally on me. I've got no clue whatsoever.
Early 2000s, I was drinking a lot, going county, and I just can't remember stuff. Oh, I like
Yeah.
your
Well,
PJs.
Thanks, mate. Thanks. It's been a cold day, so I thought I'd whack my pajamas on. Ladies. No, maybe next week I'll pick one from the depths of the Squirrel North, and you can see how you bloody well feel about that one.
Skrill. Oh yeah, bloody hell, yeah. Wonder what this is. Neil Warburton, put the intro jingle in the reses. What does he mean? Intro jingle? Which
The Reza's intro jingle.
reses intro jingle into the reses? No,
That's
we like
what people do, Russ. They call back to things I say because I'm just man of the people. Man of the people.
Okay. Claire Jeffs, was it Shane? I swear it was Simon. It doesn't.
That doesn't even make sense.
It doesn't make it. It makes sense, but it doesn't matter, does it? So, anyway, shall we call it a day there? Thanks to everybody for watching and listening. Please do like and subscribe and rate and
It was
review.
Simon Lynch.
Simon Lynch, whatever podcast
Simon.
player you're listening on, it was Simon Lynch. Cheers to Waggy and Nick. We'll be back on Monday with the Courtyard Club call following the Walsall match. So if you aren't getting that, you can get that through our Patreon, which is just £3 plus VAT per month. And you get, what do you get, Nick?
Really irritating rash that no amount of cream will share. Oh, the Patreon thing. Yes, you get access to the Courtyard Club call every Monday with a full in-depth tactical dissection of that Monday's game. You get a monthly episode of Dave Smith Never Existed. Probably the type of show for people who are into that quiz then, to be honest. I think it's very much for the people who don't know what Thingy Lynch was called. I've forgotten already. He was that forgettable. Clearly, you also get priority access to our live events, and you get a discount on merchandise in our Etsy store.
You do, and a couple more designs will be coming out very soon on our Etsy store. A Ryan Rydell one.
Connor Evans stays past January.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. Right. Thank you, everybody. Cheers, everybody. And see you on Saturday.
Thank you.
Courtyard. See you later. Bye.
This episode of the Scarf Bagara War was written, recorded, and produced by Russ Johnson and Nick Lee. The music on the opening titles was produced by Dan Johnson.
Subscribe wherever you get your content, as well as finding out how to join the TSBW fan club. Check out the links in the description or go to allthews.scarfbegarawar.co.uk.